This is another one of my 98 stories. This one is real serious. This I thought I was gonna die. See this right here? Brings me to this story. Lifting weights, how dangerous it can be. This happened in I believe it was 1998. Could have been 99. It was 98, 99. It was one of those. Maybe it was 98. I don't remember when it was. But at the time, I was lifting weights. And before I even get to that point, let me tell you exactly what happened. Because this is like a whole mentality thing. I was talking to this girl online. Right. I was trying to meet her. I was in West Virginia at the time. I had no idea where she was. So I remember I drove around. She gave me like directions. And now there was no cell phones back then, really. So it's kind of like, she told me where to go, and I tried to figure it out, and I couldn't figure it out. So I ended up driving, and I swear to you, I was like driving like on the docks. I was on the docks, like it was like water. I could have drove right into the water. I was like, what the hell am I doing? I was going crazy. I just couldn't find this chick, and I was getting so pissed off, and I was just completely fucking snapped. As I was driving, I said, fuck it. So I went home, right? And I lifted this weight above my head like this, super fast, and I just felt something. I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know what I did, but every time I was like, I was breathing, I was in like major pain. So I called one of my friends, and I was telling her about it, and she thought that it was, it could have been serious, that, had to do something with my lungs or whatever. I was like, no, I'll be all right. She's like, you should go at least to the clinic, and should get it checked out. I was like, yeah, maybe. I said, it's really painful, it hurts. So I went to a clinic, and I tell you, I've never been to a clinic before, but this is West Virginia, so I went to the clinic, and I probably waited there over an hour. Maybe it was even 2 hours. I don't know. I was in pain. So finally when they saw me, I remember, they said, I told them what was happening. I said, I'm having pains here, when I breathe, whatever. And they told me to take my chain off. I took my chain off, whatever, and they did some sort of x-ray or whatever they did. And very nonchalantly he says, yeah, you collapsed your lung. Do you want an ambulance, or do you want to drive to the hospital yourself? And I'm like, no, I'll drive myself. And at the time, I was just thinking, fuck, I'm going to die. Because Tupac died from a collapsed lung. I swear that's what I was thinking in my head. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. I'm going to die. So I drove myself to the hospital. And, I remember I sat in the waiting room, waiting. Nobody saw me or whatever. 20 minutes, half hour, whatever it went. I don't know. I was sitting there, and I finally say this. I get up and I say something. It's like, yeah, did I mention I collapsed my lung? Right away, they get a fucking wheelchair for me. I'm sitting in a wheelchair. The guy's wheeling me. And I'm thinking, oh my God. He's like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And then as he gets me like to the, emergency room or wherever they had me, in the hospital, whatever, I said to him, am I going to die? He's like, no, they're just going to put some tubes in you. It's like, you'll be fine. And I was so scared, they put me under or whatever. They put tube, in my chest or whatever. It was like crazy freaky. So, they did that, and ended up staying in the hospital for a couple of days. And I just remember when I was talking to the doctor, he was telling me what happened. He said, well, among slim people, he said, you're born with these blisters in your lungs, and you overextenuate yourself. Those blisters break. It has something to do with the lung capacity or whatever. And he said, when you lift those weights, that's pretty much, what did it. So I had to call my dad and tell him the story, whatever. And, all this just craziness. And he said that he was going to do like this operation or whatever. Now at the time, I will tell you, they gave me some Vicodin. Okay, I took the Vicodin, never had it before. Some great shit, all right? I was completely hallucinating, because I swear to you, at one point when I was in the hospital, maybe it was like the first or second day, I thought I saw all these like people like around me. I was like, what the fuck, what's going on? I was like, are these people really here? It was just like really weird, having these like weird hallucinations or dreams or whatever you want to call them, whatever. And, my friends came, and, paid their respect or, supported me or whatever. And, the doctor did come in and said, we're going to do an operation. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God. And then I think it was after like the second or third day, or maybe the second day, I don't know how long I was in there. I was in there for at least 2 days. And, he said to me, no, we're not going to do the operation. What I am going to do is that he said to me, there's like this thing that you have to like blow into, and it helps you get your capacity back. It's like this tube, you go like that, and it helps you get your lung capacity back. But they bandaged me up or whatever. But they fucked up somewhere, because for some fucking reason I have 2 scars in the same spot right over here. Okay, they drilled 2 holes. This is West Virginia for they drilled 2 holes. I originally was going to do the operation. He said the only thing is, like, if we do the operation, it will never come back. If we don't do the operation, then there's a 20-30% chance it might come back. I said, forget the operation. Let's just do that. He was going to take a laser and go inside, so we didn't do that. So what ended up happening was I was in the hospital for a couple of days, and I remember this nurse came in. I was like, she had to shave me, here, whatever. I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't really move. So they took me, in a wheelchair, when I needed to move and get up and stuff, but I was completely like, maybe it was the Vicodin or whatever it was, but it was a horrible moment in my life when I collapsed, my lung. It was pretty bad, and I just remember that there was a huge bandage over there. I went home, and it was blood everywhere. It's like it would always like bled, and I got really scared at one point because there was so much blood. It was bleeding. I was like, oh, is this normal? So I went back to the hospital, and they just changed my bandage. But that was a horrible moment. I really thought I was going to die. And because of that moment, I have 2 scars in that spot. It was really horrible. And, that's one of my 98 stories. I think it happened in 99. I think it happened in 99. So that's it. What's the moral of the story? Well, don't get pissed off and lift your weights like a fucking demon. Just don't do that. Just, I should have calmed myself, and, to this day, I gotta be careful lifting weights, and I just must have pulled something. So it was pretty bad though. But luckily I didn't end up like, Tupac, and I'm not dead, I'm alive, and this is not my ghost. So that's pretty much it. That's what happened. So, alright, comment, please. Because if you don't comment, I'm not gonna make these videos anymore. This is just sharing truths, with you guys, so you can understand a little bit more about me, about as far as what I went through, because I'm not a fucking saint. Thank you.